Our question is 420.5 milliliters of water is heated to a final temperature of 49.2 degrees Celsius using 18.7 kilojoules of energy. What is the initial temperature of water? In this question, we will be looking for the initial temperature. But first, we have to make sure we convert milliliters into grams. We know that 1 milliliter is equal to 1.00 gram. We multiply 420.5 milliliters into 1.00 grams over 1 milliliter, giving us an answer of 420.5 grams. Next, we make sure we convert our kilojoules into joules. We know that 1 kilojoule is equal to 1,000 joules. We multiply 18.7 kilojoules into 1,000 joules over 1 kilojoule, giving us an answer of 18,700 joules. Next, we will be using heat equals mass times specific heat times delta T. We know our heat is 18,700 joules. We know our mass is equal to 420.5 grams. And we also know that specific heat is 4.184 joules over grams degrees Celsius. The reason we use 4.184 joules over grams degrees Celsius is because we know the specific heat of water is equal to 4.184 joules over grams degrees Celsius. Our delta T is what we're looking for in this equation because we only have the final temp and we are looking for the initial temp. Delta T is the final temp minus the initial temp. So in this equation, that's what we're looking for. Because that's what we're looking for, we have to make sure we divide mass times specific heat on both sides, giving us an equation like this. Delta T is equal to heat over mass times specific heat. So we know our heat is equal to 18,700 joules. We know our grams is 420.5 grams, and we know our specific heat is 4.184 joules divided by grams degrees Celsius. First, we're going to multiply the bottom number, the 420.5 grams times 4.184 joules over grams degrees Celsius, before we divide the whole problem. Our answer will be 1759.372 joules over degrees Celsius. The reason why grams is no longer there is because it got canceled out when we multiplied it. So now we have delta T is equal to 18,700 joules over 1759.372 joules over degrees Celsius. Now we divide. Now remember, when we divide, we're going to cancel out joules, leaving us with degrees Celsius. And here's our answer. We have delta T is equal to 10.62879.255 degrees Celsius. We also have to make sure that we look at our significant figures to give us a shorter answer. Because we started off with 3 significant figures, we will end with 3 significant figures, giving us an answer of 10.6 degrees Celsius. That is our initial temperature.